Masterpieces are not single and solitary births. They are the outcome of many years of thinking in common, of thinking by the body of the people, so that the experience of the mass is behind the single voice.
All women together
Jane Austen should have laid a wreath upon the grave of Fanny
George
Burney,
Eliot
for it
done
was she
homage
who
to the
earned from
robust
the right
shade of
to speak
Eliza
their
Carter.
minds. What integrity it must have required in the midst of that purely patriarchal society, in face of all that criticism, to hold fast to the thing as they saw it, without shrinking. As they saw it, without shrinking. If woman had no existence, save in the fiction written by men, one would imagine her a person of the utmost importance. She pervades poetry, she dominates the lives of kings and conquerors in fiction. In real life, she was locked up, beaten and flung about the room, and was the property of any boy whose parents forced a ring upon her finger. All this pitting of sex against sex, where there are sides, and it is necessary for one side to beat another side, belonged to the private school stage of human existence. Possibly, when the professor insisted a little too emphatically upon the inferiority of women, he was concerned with his own superiority. That was what he was protecting rather hot-headedly. It must indeed be one of the chief sources of his power. It would be 1,000 pities if women wrote like men, or lived like men. For if two sexes are quite inadequate, considering the vastness and variety of the world, how should we manage with one only? And if an explorer should come back and bring word of other sexes, looking through the branches of other trees at other skies, nothing would be of greater service to humanity. But the very next words I read were these. Chloe liked Olivia. Do not start. Do not blush. Let us admit, in the privacy of our own society, that these things sometimes happen. Sometimes women do like women. Shakespeare had a sister. She died young. Alas, she never wrote a word. She died young. Alas, she never wrote a word. My belief is that if we live another century or so, the dead poet who was Shakespeare's sister will be born, drawing her life from the lives of the unknown who were her forerunners. For great poets do not die. They are continuing presences. As for her coming without that preparation, without that effort on our part, that we cannot expect. But I maintain that she would come if we worked for her, with that determination that when she is born again she shall find it possible to live and write her poetry, if we have the habit of freedom and the courage to write exactly what we think, if we escape a little from the common sitting room and see human beings not always in their relation to the world of men and women, but in relation to reality, and the sky too, and the trees, or whatever it may be in themselves. For women have sat indoors all these millions of years, so that by this time the very walls are permeated by their creative force, which has indeed so overcharged the capacity of bricks and mortar that it must needs harness itself to pens and brushes and business and politics. 1,000 pens are ready to suggest what you should do and what effect you will have, but to sacrifice a hair of the head of your vision, a shade of its colour, in deference to some professor with a measuring rod up his sleeve, is the most abject treachery. Praise and blame alike mean nothing. This great book, this worthless book, the same book is called by both names. So long as you write what you wish to write, that is all that matters. And whether it matters for ages or only for hours, nobody can say. Literature is open to everybody. I refuse to allow you to turn me off the grass. Lock up your libraries if you like, but there is no gate, no lock, no bolt that you can set upon the freedom of my mind. No need to hurry. No need to sparkle. No need to be anybody but oneself.